So originally I was just interested in going through coverages and how we did against those coverages, and I did end up doing that in here, and I will go through more in depth in other tabs. But as I was going through, I thought it might be more interesting to go through how we did in specific series sets that we would run and just how those turned out. So our double drag sets, our Chicago sets, stuff like that. And today I'll be focusing on double drag, just because it was by far our best and most used pick and roll play over these 20 games overall. But I do think there are things to go over, as it was certainly more effective in some games versus some other games. Here I went more in depth. I tracked a ton of things. Of course, I tracked the coverages for the first screener and second screener. I tracked what kind of help we ran, if we actually were able to get the ball handler trailing through our screens, who was the person on the weak side corner, because that's how he would align, the window to find the roller, and if we would find that person, the actual result, and the description of the result, and just a bunch of stuff I'll go over later. And I have a bunch of other data here, but I'm going to get into the film because that's more fun and a lot less boring to sit through. So this is an example of how USC runs it, although in this example, Boogie's defender goes under the screen, which they generally didn't do because Boogie's a good 3-point pull-up shooter. So here, as you see, they try to contain Boogie's drive, that opens up the lob to Joshua Morgan. In here instead, they try to take away the lob because he slips through, and that opens up a driving lane for him to attack, and they can't really contest a shot well. Now if they try to focus on taking away the drive and also taking away the lob, let's say through this defender running in here to stop the lob and then focusing on him, it opens up the corner shooter here for a good look. And he just misses the shot, but he's a good shooter. So this doesn't really work quite as well if the defense can just go under the ball screen, because they can just navigate through the double drag pretty easily. You can kind of see here how it kills the advantage. This is Trey White. He didn't shoot well from 3 last year. Here we see Boogie start a bit further out, and he ends up not taking the shot over here, maybe because it was just a bit too late for him. But you kind of see again, he goes under and you kind of see how it kills the advantage. Now, they're able to score, but it's because Drew Peterson's nice. Now here's an example of why they can't go under on Boogie ball screens. The screener here, Joshua Morgan, pushes him in a bit, but here you see him just splash an NBA 3. Here's an example of them running with Drew Peterson, who can also hit that pull-up 3. You see them do something interesting here in that they screen the second defender, and he gets a really easy drive to the rim. Now it's not that black and white. Of course, if you have a defender chasing you and you're just a great ball handler, you can just kind of mess him up in this position here. Draws the foul. Or the defense tries a more aggressive coverage like this. Since you're already on the move, you might have an easier time to just get around it and beat it. Now since the second screener is usually rolling really hard, you can also just stop, probe, and usually pass it to them and they can get an open look. Here are a few times of them doing it. If they try to switch on the second screen here, then you have Boogie Ellis, an elite isolation player attacking a mismatch. And even if he doesn't score off the ISO, you often have a big and good rebounding position ready for the putback. And if they overplay the screen, you often have a really easy drive to the rim because of how these defenders are positioned. And one.
So first to explain why they're setting these kind of screens, because there is a reason behind it, it does make sense. What you're basically doing is you're slipping here really fast and taking advantage if they miscommunicate to get a chance for a wide open 3. And it does kind of work out here in the sense that like he is wide open, but because of how quick this is and how it's taking advantage of miscommunication, you have to find that pass early. Because you didn't find that pass early here, all that ended up happening is it's a bad screen he gets through. And what you see is he tries to find him and it's a turnover. Another issue is that they would do this with players that didn't shoot particularly well last year. So all that really happens is the player will like slip, they'll get right through. He's not that much of a threat to shoot, like the defense are fine with that, and the defender will be able to get in front. As you kind of see here, he's completely in position. Ellis makes a good move here, but the screen didn't really help him that much there. And sometimes he would just start the pick and roll too early and leave too much space, and he could get in front. You can kind of see, at this point he's recovered. Ellis makes a great move here and scores. And sometimes the screen honestly just wouldn't be that good, as you kind of see here. The screen kind of sucks, and he's able to kind of get back in front here, but Ellis makes a tough finish here. So this example is a bit tough because he shows and it makes Ellis go a bit out this way, and because of that he can dodge as he like jumps out here and dodges the screen pretty easily. So I don't necessarily think it's his fault, but it's kind of like the same idea where like the screen doesn't stop him, he gets like in front in position, and this ends up being a turnover. Like he steps out of bounds. And this one they were just icing it, but it's just kind of to show the concept again. If you don't get that defender behind you, it just makes it a lot harder. You kind of see here, misses. So just going through some of the makes here. This one's the one I showed earlier. And for this one, how much this defender is able to help off of this defender is something I'll get into in issue 3. But also, even though that caused a turnover, the pass was also just a bit off. On this one, he catches it here, almost ends this man's career, but just can't finish. And in this one, the pass was just a bit off, if I remember. And that's pretty much every time the pass was thrown to the roller off like a drive. If you see, most of the times you guys end up finding the roller, it's mostly through like when they do an aggressive coverage like this and you like probe and like find the pass. You know, when they stop you in your tracks like this. Those were how you found them versus like lobbing while you're getting downhill. Again, see, it's a pass to pass, they were trapping you. Or you guys, I should say. Again, same thing. Cool fake to him to get to him open. And yeah, again, same thing. Those were the type of passes you guys would like usually find to the rollers. Also, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with this video, but in case USC somehow sees this,